What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be Ambitions Season 1, Episode 15. So, we pick up where we left off with Stephanie's mom and Bella's best friend in the car, honey. We figured out that the mom was behind this whole kidnapping, but we get more information. The mom really wasn't behind the kidnapping. What had happened was Bella's friend had went to the mother and sold Bella out. Said, look, this is what your son-in-law is doing. This is what's going on. And oops, he got a baby. So the mom told, probably paid her some money, told Bella's friend, look, do what you got to do. Get them out of town. Get Bella and that illegitimate child away from Atlanta and away from, my daughter or whatever. Because remember, Bella and Stephanie been hanging out. Stephanie thinking Bella, not that they're friends, but that they cool, and all that good stuff. Now, what we find out, though, is she said, I didn't tell you to kidnap anybody. And this whole fiasco, that's on you. And for some reason, see, this is let you know that people are crazy. And after all of that said and done, the best friend was like, this is all Bella's fault. How is Bella's fault? You kidnapped her son. And because they found him and killed the kidnapper, it's Bella's fault? Child, bye. And Stephanie's mama told her, she said, look, I should have known you wasn't about nothing. Because anybody that'll sell out their best friend, I should have known wasn't about shit. I shouldn't have said that, but y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, so she told her, you need to fix it. You need to fix it. I don't care how you do it, but you need to fix this. Because at the end of the day, the plan was for them to be gone. Now, over to Amara and her husband. Y'all know to come to me. They made up, honey. They all up in the bed, doing the do, having great makeup sex and all that good stuff. And he said, she was like, well, what does all this mean? He said, at this point, I really don't know what this means for us in the big picture, but in the small picture, I'm just glad that we are where we are. I'm sorry that I didn't realize how crazy Damon was, and I'm sorry that, it ever got to where it got to. But of course, she was like, look, I brought them into our lives. It is what it is. But they're in a good place. Cool. Now, Titus, that's him. I told y'all it would come to me. Now, down to the police headquarters, oh boy, Damon Crazy Tail is being interrogated by the police. Now, y'all know he gonna stick to his story that she really wanted him to be there. It's all just a misunderstanding, blah, 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 blah. Now, while this is going on, his attorney shows up. Come to find out, he's one of the biggest, baddest defense attorneys in the country, and he gets him out on bail. And Amara is trying to figure out how the hell did he get out on bail? Like, we caught him dead to rights. And I'm not understanding how he got out on bail. But then when she finds out who his lawyer is, she's trying to figure out, now how did he afford a lawyer like that? I mean, this is one of those lawyers that make, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I know he don't have that kind of money. So what we find out later on, I'm just going to go on through these things. What we find out later on is that this attorney went to law school with Stephanie and with the mayor, right? And they all know each other. So when she started making a connection, now the pieces are starting to fall into place for her. She said, okay, Stephanie had something to do with Damon being in town. Okay, she's starting to put all the pieces together. We'll get back to that later on. Now, Stephanie gets a DNA test. Remember last week she stole the hat. She's got Evan's razor. She gives it to her PI and says, look, you know it goes without saying that this is very discreet. This is off the books. This don't have nothing to do with the law firm. This is not official business. I need you to handle it, though. And, of course, the DNA test comes back, and we know what it is. It's Evan's child, okay? So we got that going on, honey. We got that going on. Now, back over to Bella's house. Come to find out, Bella's mama is pissed because she didn't know anything about the baby being kidnapped or nothing. And she was like, how dare you not tell me that my grandchild was kidnapped? Like how you just gonna tell me after the fact? And she was like, well, Evan thought it would be best. She said, I don't give a damn what Evan thought. I am his abuela. You know, I spend more time with him than you do. Don't sit here and not tell me what's going on with my own grandchild. What's wrong with you? Then why Bella let it slip that the best friend knew? She said, wait a minute. So not only did you not tell me, she knew, and I didn't. And you could tell she don't really like this girl. And, you know, she apologized and begged her and said, Mommy, please, please, please. You know I can't lose you. I was just so scared and da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, Mama came back and they you know, they sort of, I ain't gonna say they made up, but they sort of talked it out. But their mother was like, look, it's just too much for me to handle. You know, first Senior's killed and now this. It's just too much for me to handle. Now, down at Thelma's place, honey, poor, y'all know who I'm talking about. My girl. She can't catch a break, huh? Brielle Evans. She can't catch a break. She finally got all the signatures she needs for her petition, and they're legitimate signatures, but hell, at this point, they don't even own the diner anymore, so she doesn't even understand what kind of standing she even has at this point. Evan has a check for her for $500,000. He said, look, all you got to do is sign off on this contract, and the $500,000 will be wired to your account, and we can all just keep it moving. And the cousin was like, Now, see, I probably would have took that $500,000 2 weeks ago, but Cuz over here done told me that there are some developers in town that are willing to pay a pretty little piece for little old Thelma's place. So I think I'm just going to wait and shop around and see what I can get. And she said, and I will be moving back into the apartment, and I'm taking the master suite. She said, the hell you will. Then we find out, she said, you know, Evan, this the cousin. You know, after my mother died and I ran into some financial difficulty, he said, oh, you mean when you ran up your gambling debts? She said, whatever. You didn't help me, and I ended up losing my mother's house. And I didn't see nobody having no sympathy for me then. He said, yeah, no, you called me to borrow money, and I wasn't going to give you no money. You done ran up the bill. Because you out here gambling and doing whatever you wanted to do. He was like, so nah, I wasn't going to help you. So in her mind, she getting get back. You know what I mean? She getting get back. Now, she left. But y'all know she coming back. So we see Stephanie meet up with the attorney that she sent down there to defend Damon. And she said, you know, I thought you'd be able to get these charges dropped. I mean, I'm glad you got him out on bail and everything. But I thought you'd be able to get these charges dropped altogether. He said, Stephanie, I pulled a damn miracle getting the bail because dude is a bad guy. And she said, well, I know he's not the nicest dude in the world. That's why I thought we'd be able to go ahead and get this taken care of. He said, Stephanie, I'm be honest with you. I don't know if it's a favor I can call in on this one, because at the end of the day, he ain't no nice dude. And I really don't think that we should even take this case to trial. She was like, that's my point. Can we figure out a way to just get this all taken away? But he letting her know. He giving her the side eye like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, Evan's chief of security, y'all know the dude that he hired to help him. He's, you know, anyway. Come to find out, Bella's friend shows up. The girl that masterminded the whole little, her name is close to Bella, and that's why I keep Ella or something. It's real close to Bella, but anyway. And y'all know I do bad enough when the names don't sound nothing alike. Don't give me a name that's similar, and I'm really in trouble. But Bella, he tells her, he said, look, I know it was you. She was like, what you talking about? He said, I know it was you. And he ends up showing her pictures. You know, they done, you know, a social media search, and come to find out she's in pictures with the dude that they killed, the kidnapper. He was like, you didn't even know you were in these pictures, but look at you in the background. That's you here, that's you there. And so basically she hit him with the, so what I gotta do? What you want? Honey, they end up having sex, and I guess all is forgiven. But you know he's going to hold on to that and put it in his back pocket. Because at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to betray Evan. I think he might sit on the information for a little while. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked to find out on the back end if he had already told Evan, but they were trying to figure out how deep this whole thing really goes. I don't know that to be certain, but you know, when it comes to these types of shows, you never know who knows who knows what, and what's really going on behind the scenes. So I won't be shocked to find out, because I just find it real interesting that his chief of security would betray him over sex. You know what I mean? Like really? I mean, dude is nice looking. He don't need to be blackmailing people. Honey, Stephanie is doubling down. She's doing a press conference, and she is doubling down on, coming after Purefoy, talking about we knew all along, they were dirty, they were this, they were that, da-da-da-da-da, So we'll get, that's going on. Amara done pulled Evan's chief of staff back down there, and she said, look, I really need you to testify. What we found out is that nurse that tried to kill you, the woman that, that's trying to kill you, yeah, she's Greg Peters' cousin. And I don't know if you've ever seen Greg Peters' rap sheet, but his rap sheet is nothing compared to hers. Like, she's a real killer. So, I mean, I can protect you or not. But just so you know, she gonna keep coming until she gets you. I mean, that's gonna happen. She gonna keep coming until she gets you. And of course, she give her the whatever. I don't know anything. I wasn't there. I don't know nothing. Until she meet up with Evan, and she tries to talk to Evan about it. Right? No. I'm skipping ahead. Rewind. I'm skipping ahead. I'll get to that in a second. Back down to Thelma's place. The cousin is back. Yeah, I know she was coming back. And she down there bossing everybody around, telling everybody what to do, talking to people crazy. She didn't call Bella's mama J-Lo, honey. Then she called her a broke. What she called her? A broke. First she called her J-Lo. Then she called her a broke Rosie Perez, honey. Called her a broke Rosie Perez. So they end up going at it, and I mean, and Dale, that's it. I knew it was gonna come to me before it was over with. And her and Dale got into it, and Dale was about to fight her, honey, and the whole staff stood behind her like, what's up? She was like, oh, so y'all gonna jump me now? And Dale was like, nah, I don't need nobody to have my back. I got this all by myself. Like, what's good? Like, it's me and you, boo. And she ends up, getting her to leave again. But of course, like I said, y'all, she gonna be back. She told her, she said, honey, she said, you think you scare me? You don't scare me. I got some heavy hitters back up into Chicago that I can get to come down here. And Brielle was like, and Dale was like, well, bring them on. I mean, if you feeling froggy, jump. She said, well, at least I do have me a man at home. I haven't seen any men sniffing around here after you. And Dale was like, okay. Hey, get the hell out of get the hell out. Like, I don't care. Now, Bella, dummy. Oh, Lord. We back over to Bella's house. Now, remember, Bella was giving the Valentino dude, well, he's not Valentino. His mother's name is Valentino. But y'all know who I'm talking about. The fashion dude was giving him the cold shoulder because she was like, I should have never slept with you. It was a mistake. Da-da-da-da-da. And he's working with somebody. I don't know who he working with, but he wasn't connected to the kidnappers because they've already showed that hand, well, at least as of right now, they've already showed that hand that the kidnappers are working with Stephanie's mom. We don't have anything to indicate that Stephanie's mom is working with him as of right now. Like I said, you never know how these things are going to twist and turn. But as of right now, we don't see anything connecting the two of them. So, and Dale, we ain't back at Dale. So he's getting really nasty with her. Because, again, she ain't on board. She's not going along with the get along now. So he's talking about, how the designs aren't what they supposed to be. It's not what they looking for. His mother ain't really impressed that it's all been him. That if it wasn't for him, the mom would have never signed her to that contract. And she don't need to be worried about, an airport concession because at this point in time, they might not even be able to go into business together. And he's really like playing hardball with her. And of course, now she's like, what? Like, that's not what Evan said. Evan told me that this was a done deal. He was like, well, I don't care what Evan told you. It's not a done deal. You need to go through me. So basically, you need to be a little bit nicer to me is what he basically telling her. And he leaves her standing there looking all crazy. Now, down to the mayor's office, honey. This way I was about to jump to, but I had to come back. Down to the mayor's office. Amara goes to visit the mayor. She takes the mayor that suicide note, trying to bully him a little, not bully him, but trying to push him a little bit. And he was like, look, I went to law school too. You know, like I know, that this is not admissible in court. You can't prove chain of custody. Hell, you can't even prove that this is a real suicide letter. Like, you need to come better. And as she was leaving, oh, and she also tipped her hand that his chief of staff is helping her out. Like, she threw some information out there that only the chief of staff would know. So now Evan is like, okay, all right, I see. She gonna do me like that? Okay, cool. And as she was leaving, that's when she saw the defense attorney, and she started putting those pieces together. So when the chief of staff goes to Evan a little bit later on, and she starts talking about how scared she is, and Evan was like, I really don't care. Like, he was talking, you know how people talk, because he's not sure she's wired or whatever. So he's acting like he don't know what she's talking about. She was like, come to find out that's Isabella, and she's crazy, and she's da-da-da-da. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know her. What do you mean? I don't know what you're speaking of. And she was like, what? Oh, this is what you're going to do to me? She was like, okay, screw you, Evan. Now, on one hand, I understand Evan planned it like that. But on the other hand, now she really don't have nothing to lose by going back over to Amara and telling Amara everything she knows. But okay, we'll see how that work out for you. Now, down to the Purifoy, they got people coming in there protesting. They done thrown blood on Titus, fake blood on Titus. They done thrown, he said they threw empty pill bottles at him. He said, I'm all about free expression and freedom of speech and freedom of protest. Like, I understand what they doing, and I understand why they upset. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I don't know if this is something I can keep doing. Now, Damon done called Stephanie up, and Stephanie said, look. Well, Stephanie called Damon. Stephanie said, look, I done deposited a little piece of change up in your account. I need you to go ahead and leave town. And he was like, well, how much? And she said, look, it don't even matter how much. It don't matter how much. It's enough for you to relocate, start a new life, and do what you do. And he started talking about how he don't know if he going to do it because, he really thinks that his work here is not done. He has not, that their goal was to break up Amara and Titus, and Amara and Titus are still together, and he's not ready to leave. And she was like, okay, abort mission and get the hell out of town. So, y'all know Damon crazy as hell, and he gonna do whatever he want to do. Stephanie thinks she is in charge and she running something, but boo, she is not. So Amara goes to visit Damon. Now, she took an FBI agent with her, so she didn't go see him by herself, but she still let the FBI agent stay outside while she talked to him inside, but whatever. And I feel like she set him up because she got him to admit that he is stalking her and that he's never going to stop and that there's nothing she could say or do to stop him. Now, I thought she was wired and that she was just going to take that tape down to court and that they would use that to revoke his bail. Like, that's what I thought she was doing. But then she didn't do that. She was talking to Titus later on about how, he's crazy and, she's just going to have to figure out a way because he's never going to stop. And I'm just like, but why didn't you record him saying that? Because to me, if you get arrested for stalking and all those other things that they have him on, and you get him on tape admitting that he's not going to stop doing it, and there's nothing that's going to stop him, it seems to me like that should be enough for him to go back to jail. I don't know. I thought it would be, but okay. So Stephanie done told her mama. Stephanie done confirmed to her mama that that the baby's not, that the baby is Evan's, which of course we knew that she already knew that. And so I guess we're going to see what they about to cook up, honey, what they about to do next. Then we see Evan go to visit Bella. Now, Bella not there, but the best friend is. Now, his chief of staff is standing there, and they keep giving each other these little looks, like, yeah, And she lets it slip that Bella is sleeping with old dude from the Valentino. Well, y'all know what Evan did. He left. But, he came back. And he confronted her. He said, so you over here, you just can't keep your legs closed. That's what's going on here. He was like, is that what you were doing when my son got kidnapped? Which it is what she was doing when his son got kidnapped. But she went on to let him know, like, look, he told her, he said, look, just so you know, who you think he is not what he really is. And he don't have the authority that you think that he's been telling you he has. Come to find out, Valentina has dementia. He said, I didn't know that when I talked to her, but come to find out, when I talked to her, it was probably one of her few lucid moments, because she don't know who I am. She don't know who you are. She doesn't know anything about this. And when she got sick, the brothers, their two brothers, they're like Cain and Abel, they were fighting over control, and the dude you've been dealing with, oh, he lost. So the person with all the power and authority don't even know you exist, boo. So I hope it was worth it. I hope you know, that little romp in the hay got you what you wanted. Because that ain't the person you need to be working with. And he has no authority to do anything for you. I said, ooh, Bella. Now Damon pays Stephanie a visit. Stephanie walks up in her office, and Damon is sitting up in her office drinking her liquor, chilling. She said, how the hell did you get up in here? First of all, how you get in my office? Second of all, you weren't even supposed to still be in Atlanta. He said, well, first of all, I can get in wherever I want to get into. Just remember that. And second of all, that little $200,000 you dropped in my account, that's what you thought I was going to be able to use to relocate? He said, so you want me to jump bail, lose my livelihood because, I'm going to get disbarred. I won't have any way to make any money. That $200,000 ain't shit. He said, but I am going to keep it. He said, I already rewired it somewhere else. So I got that. But just so you know, I'm not leaving Atlanta until I'm ready to leave Atlanta. I can beat these charges. And then I can keep my law license and keep my job. And you can still get what you want out of it. So she ends up calling security or whatever. And, security escorts him out and stuff. But you know what he did while he was in her office? What is Damon known for? Honey, he planted himself a good old camera up in her office. So we're going to see next week what he gets on tape. Because, at the end of the day, and Amara asked Damon that. Amara said, what does she have on you? And of course he played stupid. What you talking about? She was like, I'm talking about Stephanie. What does Stephanie have on you? Like, why are you doing her dirty work for her? So this will be a way for him to, I guess, get a leg up on Stephanie and get some dirt on Stephanie. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.